Plant a rose in spring, and it spends its whole first season just trying to survive. Plant the exact same rose in fall, and by next June, it's already blooming like it's been there for years. Same variety, same soil, same gardener. The only difference is the season you put it in the ground. Today, I'm showing you the actual biology behind why fall planting wins, the exact planting window for your zone, and a simple test that tells you in 4 weeks whether your new rose has actually taken hold. Conventional wisdom says spring is the safe season to plant anything. Mild weather, a full growing season ahead, less risk. For most plants, that's fine advice. For roses specifically, it's backwards, and once you understand why, you'll never plant one in spring again if fall is an option. Let's get into it. The root establishment biology. Here's the piece of biology that makes fall planting work so well, and it comes down to one simple mismatch that most gardeners never think about. In early fall, soil holds onto summer's warmth far longer than the air does. It cools slowly, weeks behind the air temperature dropping around it. That warm soil-cool air gap is exactly what a newly planted rose needs. Warm soil keeps root growth active since roots need heat to actually extend and branch. Cool air, meanwhile, signals the top of the plant to slow down and stop pushing new leaves and stems. Put those two things together and you get a plant spending nearly all of its energy on one job: building roots with almost no competition from top growth pulling resources away. Compare that to a spring-planted rose, which has to build roots, push leaves, and often start blooming, all at the same time, while summer heat is already climbing and demanding more water than a small, unestablished root system can pull up. A fall-planted rose gets a quiet, uncontested season underground. A spring-planted rose is fighting a three-front war from day one. Think about what that actually adds up to by the time real cold arrives. A rose, planted in early September, has roughly 6 to 8 weeks of active, unhurried root growth before the ground freezes. No leaves to feed, no blooms to fund, just roots quietly extending outward the entire time. A rose planted the following spring doesn't get that same head start. It's still building its first real root mass right as it's also being asked to survive its first summer. By the time both plants reach their second summer, the fall-planted one is already working with a root system that's had a full extra season of uninterrupted development behind it. The planting window by zone. So what's the actual window? It depends on your zone. In zone 5 to 6, plant roses from early September through mid-October, early enough that roots get real time to establish before the ground freezes, but late enough that summer heat has genuinely broken. In warmer zone 7 or 8, you have more runway and can push planting into November. In colder zone 3 or 4, your window is tighter and starts earlier, closer to late August, since the ground freezes sooner and roots need every extra week they can get. Southern Hemisphere gardeners shift the whole calendar 6 months. Your fall planting window is March into April. The rule underneath all of this, no matter your zone, you want roughly 6 to 8 weeks between planting and your first hard frost. That's the minimum runway roots need to genuinely anchor before the ground locks up for winter. Plant too close to frost and you lose most of this whole advantage. The plant simply doesn't get enough of that warm soil window to matter. The mycorrhizal advantage. There's a second advantage happening underground that connects directly to something we've covered before on this channel: the soil food web. Those fungal networks, the mycorrhizae that extend a rose's root, reach far beyond what the roots alone could manage, establish new connections most easily when the plant isn't simultaneously trying to fund leaf growth and flower production. Fall planting hands the fungi a rose that's almost entirely focused underground, which is exactly the condition they need to colonize a new root system quickly. A rose planted in fall often has a working fungal partnership in place before it even breaks dormancy the following spring. A rose planted in spring is trying to build that same partnership while also trying to survive its first heat wave. A much harder set of conditions to form a new underground relationship in. This is part of why disturbing the soil as little as possible around a new planting matters so much. Every time that fungal network gets physically broken, whether from heavy digging nearby or repeated poking around the root zone, it has to start rebuilding those connections from scratch. Fall planting gives the relationship time to form once and hold, rather than getting interrupted before it's had a chance to take. Site preparation before the rose arrives. Before your rose even arrives, there's real prep worth doing. Start with the same drainage test we've covered before. Dig a hole roughly a foot deep and wide where you're planning to plant, fill it with water, and check back in 15 minutes. If it's still standing after an hour, you've got a drainage problem worth solving before planting day, not after. Dig your actual planting hole wider than it is deep, roughly twice the width of the root system, but no deeper than the roots themselves need, since a hole that's too deep just gives the plant room to settle and sink over winter. Do this prep work a week or two before the rose actually arrives, not the same afternoon. Freshly disturbed soil needs a little time to settle before you're asking roots to establish in it. If you're planting a bare root rose specifically, soak the roots in water for a couple of hours right before planting, not longer. Over-soaking can actually suffocate roots that need oxygen just as much as moisture. If you're planting from a container, gently loosen any roots that have started circling the outside of the root ball. Left alone, those roots will often keep circling indefinitely instead of growing outward into your prepared soil, which defeats a lot of the benefit of fall's uncontested growing window in the first place. The soil mix. For what actually goes into that hole, use the same soil approach we've talked about on this channel before. A blend of your native soil and aged compost. Roughly 2/3 existing soil to 1/3 compost, rather than replacing the native soil entirely. Filling the hole with pure amended soil creates an artificial pocket that roots struggle to grow out of, sometimes circling back on themselves instead of pushing into the surrounding ground. Blending it with what's already there gives roots a reason to keep expanding outward, right into the native soil around the hole, which is exactly the root spread you want heading into winter. If fall planting is new information for you, a like helps this reach more gardeners, still assuming spring is the only safe option. Back to it. Mulching for first winter survival. A newly planted rose needs more winter protection than an established one because its root system hasn't had time to go deep yet. Apply a full 3 to 4 inches of mulch, slightly deeper than you would on an established plant, and extend it a little wider than usual to protect that still shallow root zone. Keep it pulled back an inch or two from the base of the cane itself. Same rule as always, so you're not trapping moisture against the bark. For that first winter specifically, it's also worth mounding extra mulch or soil a few inches up over the graft union if your rose is grafted rather than own root. That graft point is the most cold, vulnerable part of a young plant, and a first winter freeze can do real damage there before the rest of the plant has had a chance to harden fully. Own root roses skip this particular risk, since there's no graft union to protect, but they still benefit from the same generous mulch depth while that first root system establishes. Either way, pull the extra winter mound back down to normal mulch depth in spring once hard frosts have passed. Leaving it piled too long traps moisture right against new growth exactly when the plant is trying to wake up. Diagnostic test, the 4-week cane-tug test. Here's how to actually confirm establishment is happening, roughly 4 weeks after planting. Grip a cane low, close to the base, and give it a very gentle tug. Not a yank, just enough pressure to test for resistance. If the plant resists and the base feels anchored, with little to no give, roots are taking hold and doing their job. If the whole plant shifts or wobbles at the base with barely any resistance, the root system hasn't established real anchorage yet, and that plant needs continued attention rather than being left alone to fend for itself through winter. Extra mulch, consistent moisture, and a recheck in another couple of weeks. This test costs nothing and takes 10 seconds, and it's the clearest signal you'll get without digging the plant up that fall planting is doing what it's supposed to. Run it weekly if you're nervous, but avoid testing daily. A cane that's still settling can feel slightly different test to test, and constant checking feeds anxiety more than it tells you anything new. What not to do. 3 things to leave alone with a newly fall-planted rose, and they matter as much as everything else in this video. Do not feed. A newly planted rose has nothing to gain from a nitrogen push right now. It needs root establishment, not top growth. And fertilizer works directly against the biology we just spent this whole video explaining. Do not prune, beyond removing anything visibly broken or damaged in transit. Any cane you cut is a cane the plant has to spend energy responding to, energy that should be going entirely into roots this season. And do not fuss over it constantly. No repositioning, no digging around the base to check on it, no moving it 3 weeks later because you've decided it'd look better somewhere else. Every disturbance resets some of the progress those first few weeks are building. Plant it once, mulch it, water it consistently, and leave it alone to do the quiet work it's built to do. That includes resisting the urge to compare it daily against how established a spring planted rose looks in someone else's garden right now. This isn't the same timeline, and a fall planted rose that looks like it's doing nothing above ground in November is very likely doing exactly what it should be doing below ground, where you can't see it. Warm soil, cool air, an uncontested season underground, and a fungal partnership that gets a head start before spring even arrives. That's the real case for fall planting. Prep your site, use the right soil blend, mulch generously, run the cane-tug test at 4 weeks, and leave the plant alone otherwise. Do that, and the rose you plant this September will be blooming next June like it's been established for years. If this changed how you think about planting timing, hit like and subscribe for the rest of the fall system. Next time, we're covering the mistakes that undo everything we just talked about, the pruning cut that actually kills first winter survival. Until next time, happy gardening.